Are you currently searching the real estate market to invest in real estate property to expand on your investment portfolio? Or are you just watching this video to learn more about LLCs and real estate and business? In today's video, I am going to talk to you about whether or not you need to live in the state where your real estate LLC is formed. What I mean by this is if your primary residence is in California, but you purchase real estate property in Florida and you form a Florida LLC, are you required to live in Florida? Today's the day you find out. So you're probably watching this video because you want to learn a little bit more about whether or not you need to live in the state where your real estate is located and where your LLC is formed. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you live in California, but you purchase real estate located in Florida and you form a Florida LLC, do you need to live in Florida? Let's go ahead and clarify this question. But before I do that, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Taking those actions truly helps our channel grow. So thanks in advance. So the question is, do you need to live in the state where your real estate is located and where your LLC is formed? Say, for example, you live in California, but you purchased real estate in Florida and you formed a Florida LLC. The answer to this question is no. But make sure you keep on watching to understand why the answer to that question is no. When you purchase real estate property in a state where you do not live. I keep going back to the same example, but it's a great example. You live in California, but you purchase property in Florida and you form a Florida LLC. In this scenario, the answer is no. You do not need to live in Florida. In fact, it's important to note that you are allowed and you are able to form a real estate LLC in any state. If you live in California, but you purchase real estate in New York, you're able to form a New York LLC and you do not have to live in New York. If you live in California and you purchase real estate in Hawaii and you form a Hawaii LLC, you do not need to live in Hawaii. You have the ability to form an LLC in any of the states without actually living there. But there may be drawbacks that you're going to want to be mindful of. If you live in California, but you purchase real estate in Washington and you form a Washington LLC, you will be responsible for Washington fees and you will also be responsible for California fees. When you purchase real estate in Washington and you form a Washington LLC for that real estate, the next step would be to notify the Secretary of State of California to do what's called a foreign qualification in order to notify them that you have a company that is out of state. This step is very important because this creates the foundation for a successful business. The last thing you want is to structure your business in a manner and to form your business entity in a way that will lead to hiccups and issues down the road. What I mean by this is if you fail to notify California that you have a company out of state, you may be liable for additional expenses or you may be liable for certain penalties. That's why it is very important to notify the correct authorities and to let them know exactly what you're doing so that all the notices regarding taxes, expenses, business, actions, activities are all documented. This will ensure that you have no hiccups in the future and that you're able to continuously expand and grow your real estate business without having to backtrack. Some situations that I've seen in the past is an individual lives in California, but they'll purchase real estate property in another state, such as Florida, and they'll form the LLC in a different state, such as Wyoming. In this case, there are 3 states that will be involved. One will be California, where you live. The second will be Florida, where the real estate property is located. And the third state will be Wyoming, where the LLC is formed. In this case, it does get complicated. You will be responsible for fees associated with all 3 states. What I mean by this is you will be responsible for the California fees, the Florida fees, as well as the Wyoming fees. A lot of these fees really have to do with taxation. And so what most people do in order to keep things and to keep taxes as simple as possible is they will form an LLC in the state that they live in. After forming the LLC in the state that they live in, they'll then purchase real estate property in a different state, such as Florida, and they will provide Florida with a foreign qualification. In other words, they will notify Florida that they have real estate property located in the state, and that will ensure that any sort of profits that the real estate gains, any sort of expenses, are all tracked. In order to keep taxes as simple as possible, if you decide to purchase real estate property in a state that you do not live in, then the 2 options that you may want to consider doing is 1, forming the LLC in the state that you live in, and then doing a foreign qualification in the state where the real estate property is located. Or your second option would be to form the LLC where the real estate is located and providing a foreign qualification to the Secretary of State where you live. If you happen to have any questions about anything that I talked about in today's video, please make sure you click in the link in the description box below to book your free call with a professional who can help you better understand how to form an LLC, which state to form an LLC for your real estate business if you're planning to purchase real estate outside of the state that you live in. If you happen to enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to rise. If you would like to learn more about LLCs, corporations, DBAs, business startups, sole proprietorships, make sure you go ahead and watch one of these videos here.